Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach. I'm joined by Chris Garcia.
Hey, I didn't know he was playing the theme song. We were having our own conversation.
We were totally. We're like, I guess we started.
I guess we started. And Fabienne's joining us again. She's up in town, so we did another in-person podcast. It's been a while since we've done it in person. We've been doing a lot of Zoom episodes. It fits in a little bit better with our schedules.
Nice.
Plus, I get to sit at my computer and do it, and then I get to play Diablo afterwards. Yeah. So, very Diablo 4 might come up in Nerdy Confessions. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set coming out this Friday for pre-release, which basically means real release. Like, does anyone actually like...
Pre-release is just like commander decks first, right? And
no,
then...
so that's a good question, actually.
Yeah, what is
pre-release?
Pre-release?
Pre-release is designed specifically, and you got to hand it to Wizards of the Coast for this one, because they don't have to do this. But pre-release is specifically for local gaming stores so that they can start selling before like the big box stores get it. So like before Target or Best Buy or whoever gets the cards, local gaming stores get first crack at pre-release, and that's when they can start playing the game and stuff. And they normally there's a big pre-release party where you'll get the little boxes and you can do drafts and sealed events and things like that. So it's people's first chance at playing with the cards and experiencing the set.
So
which is
I don't
cool.
know who is to, I don't know if I want to say thank or blame, but the schedules are never very that accurate. I've gone to multiple games and said, hey, when's pre-release? It's like, oh, it's this Friday. It's like, dope.
No,
okay,
I think
I'm here
that
to buy some packs in the commander. Oh no, it's next Friday. It's like it's not what you said.
Interesting.
Last Friday, it was like, oh, can I buy some booster packs? I can't sell booster packs yet. I was like,
yeah,
that's funny because last pre-release I bought I think a box.
Yeah, I know that like Wizards, Hasbro, technically it's Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
They're really strict about that shit, and especially with Magic, obviously because of money and like the value of cards and shit.
Sure.
They're really nutso. I did a when the Dungeons and Dragons set came out, I did like a live stream draft, and we got to keep the cards. And this was like a week before the draft came out.
Okay.
And they were really like our friend managed to get the deal, and they were like, yeah, you pretty much like once you have these cards, you can't fucking do anything with these cards, or else you will die.
We will kill you. We'll come to your house.
What is it? The Pinkertons. The wizard Pinkertons will come after you. And there was. We had to sign like a contract.
There's all the NDAs and stuff, and all the content producers are the same thing. There's channels out there on YouTube called like Rip and Ship channels. Check them out. They're fun to watch if you're into like opening booster packs. It's kind of like watching someone do cocaine. You're like, ooh, I bet that's so fun.
I don't have to spend the money or have any of the horrible side effects.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you still get like a weird little buzz from watching someone open packs, but I don't think if you're watching someone do coke, you get like a little residual.
It depends. It depends. But yeah, it's one of those things where you can watch it, but they're very strict. They're like they're only doing it for pre-release, and they always say at the beginning these won't ship out until pre-release date or whatever. So it's good that they keep it under lock and key. But I think you're right that local shops not knowing what they can sell and when they can sell it is. Maybe that's a Wizards thing. Yeah. Maybe that's just a bad employee thing.
Yeah, I think it might be we didn't read the contract and we're not sure and we don't want to get in trouble sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because they're a small business and, there's a lot of shit going on.
And not only that, like the pre-release parties, like the Friday Night Magic where the pre-release comes out is a big deal for those shops because they have a bunch of people come in who are excited to play. They want to make sure that those people have enough product to buy too. So like us just going in and being like, yeah, let me just buy a box so I can open it by myself and feel the rush by myself in my house. I think that's slightly different. So, I think, it's okay to have some of those rules in there, I believe.
Like, come on, baby, I just want a pack. Let me just get
a pack real quick. I need someone to hold me over till next Friday. I'm good for it. So I'm excited. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're going to go over the 4 commander decks that are coming out for the Lord of the Rings set. Also, some of the special limited edition versions of cards and stuff that are included, and kind of like what to expect. And also, we're kind of interested in talking about like this is the most expensive set of Magic that I've seen since I started playing. Does this set a bad precedent for future releases, whether it's Universes Beyond, which are like tie-in sets of Magic, or not? You know, is this just like a one-off because the Tolkien estate wants to wet their beaks, or is this the new normal? So we'll see how that goes. But let's do some nerdy confessions. Seeing as there's 3 of us here, it's fun to do it in person. Let's confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, why don't you lead us off?
Nerdy confession is I did not know that Secrets of the Mogwai, the Gremlins cartoon, had released. I feel like I've been waiting 2 years to watch it. I know it was like bouncing around. It was playing at like festivals, and we didn't know who was going to get it. And then HBO finally got it, but HBO never really said when they were going to release it. I feel like they said it was going to be like last year, July or something, and then it never happened. And then
it's not HBO anymore. It's just Max.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Max. You're right.
You don't want to misbrand them.
This is Max.
You dead brand them.
Max, we want to get sponsored, so Max, it's Max.
It's Max now.
And then they finally released it in May, and I just started watching it yesterday. I really like it. I don't know how people feel about it. Sabrina, my fiance, she's not big into cartoons, but she's actually really been enjoying it, which is weird because the animation style is similar, what I feel, to the Star Wars Rebels, which she really didn't like, but she likes this.
Oh, interesting. So is this a new cartoon, or is this like a...
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a new cartoon about...
Yeah, so it's
I didn't know about this.
it's about like...
Apparently no one did.
Yeah.
Apparently.
The biggest Gremlin fan that I know didn't know when it came out. So.
I was like trying to follow it, and I didn't know about a release date, and then I just saw someone tweet about it. I was like, holy shit, it's out.
I have to tell Knox, because Knox is also a big Gremlin.
Nice.
fan.
I really like it. I really like it.
Okay,
I
good
don't
to
know
know
if everyone's going to like it.
I saw this meme that perfectly encapsulates kind of what happened, where it's like Netflix is saying like, hey, watch this show. It's going to be awesome. Watch it. You're like, fine, I'll watch it. Hey, Netflix, that show is pretty good. He's like, no, it's not. It's canceled now. Fuck you.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It happens to so many shows.
Like I got my little niece into like Gremlins. I made her watch the first movie. She really liked it. And even with this cartoon, I was like, perfect. Like I can, have her watch this. We can watch it together. And I'm like, oh, like there's some stuff that happens that I don't know if I want to explain.
Well, Gremlins 2, right? Famously brought about PG-13 rating, right?
Yeah.
One. Gremlins 1.
Gremlins 1 was?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
Gremlins 1 and Temple of Doom, I think, were the two.
It was like it's like
simultaneous.
They no one really knows which one. I like to think it was Gremlins, but yes,
Temple of Doom
and
was
they
a pile
very
of
much
shit.
stick.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Temple-
It was
Temp-
Temple of Doom. Gremlins was gross, but Temple of Doom had the
What,
child
Kali Ma?
slavery. Yeah, and child slavery, and like...
They were working. They need jobs. I had a job as a kid. I mean, they're trying to
Not
earn
in a
keep.
mine, Christian.
And there's
That's
also
true.
like weird like sexy time, and there's like weird like
Temple of Doom was a pile of
eating
shit.
brains, eating
was
the brains
so
out of
bad.
a monkey.
Hey, I love Temple of Doom.
Temple
I'm
of
not
Doom
gonna have you.
fucking
Thank you. Right?
I hate
It's
it.
good.
I
Okay.
hate it so much.
I'll fight someone.
I
think
fucking
short round.
yes.
It's short round.
I hate
He
it.
won an Oscar.
Yeah, he's making a comeback. I really hope because of his
He
popularity.
did not win an Oscar for short round,
did not.
first of all.
We,
It's like, hey, can you
We don't
play
know,
a stereotypical Asian kid? All right, cool. No, they give him an Oscar for his
time
awesome
will
work.
fucking tell. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I
he's
think
due for it.
If they do, I think it would be dope if they did like a short round Indiana Jones spinoff. Like that'd
I'm
be
hoping
fucking rad.
because of his popularity, the actor that he has right now, that maybe there's a cameo of him in the movie. I
don't
probably
think he is.
doubt, but
Yeah.
it would make me happy
Yeah.
knowing he's still in that universe.
Yeah.
But yes, Gremlins, watch it. Tell me what you think. It's cool. I like it. So
Nice.
yeah, I know. I don't know if Cody will watch
Speaking
it.
of weird TV shows, did you know? And Indiana Jones. Did you know that there was an Indiana Jones TV show?
In the
Yeah.
90s.
The
Yeah,
young
I didn't know that
Young
until
Indiana
recently.
Jones.
Yeah,
I watched it, and it looks
Or The Adventures of Young Indiana
yeah,
Jones.
The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, and then they like redid it as like a made-for-TV series.
Did not know they redid it.
But they took the same fucking show and they re-edited it into like a TV, like a made-for-TV movie.
Oh, interesting.
And then all of that stuff made the last movie. Like that's what they wrote. The last
I
movie
remember
as.
watching it and I have this vague memory of like him investigating a case of like women when they were doing the Tupperware parties were really sleeping in Tupperware so that they can live or stay
So
useful
weird.
longer.
What?
And I don't know if like my brain made that up or if it's
Maybe.
accurate.
Now we'll
Yeah,
have to watch it.
I think
Someone
your
has to
brain
have
might
it
have made
somewhere.
that up.
I'm seeing. Watch
I feel
someone
like
who's seen it. They're
weren't-
like, no,
weren't weren't
he's
Tupperware parties in the
semi-right
50s?
about that.
Weren't the Tupperware parties in the 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
No, he's
Young
no.
Indiana Jones
Young
would have been in
Indiana
the
Jones is-
20s.
No, I thought it wasn't really him. It was some kid in the 90s, but he was like mentoring some young kid or something.
No, it's him.
What?
No, it's
Really?
him. Yeah.
No, yeah.
There's like multiple Indiana Jones through his time. So like when he's a kid, it's like the 30s, 20s, 30s or something.
It would be the 20s
And
I will
then-
research this.
Temple of Doom was
and then there's
1935
another actor
or
that
38.
comes in as like the 18s to 20s, and he plays a saxophone at one point. It's fucking weird.
Weird. Go check out Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, my nerdy confession is, and we'll probably do an episode on this in the future with me and Christian. But I saw the Across the Spider-Verse. Is that what it's called? The second Spider-Verse movie with Miles Morales. And while I think overall the movie was still good, I was still kind of disappointed with it. It didn't live up to my expectations. We won't spoil anything. We won't do a full review, but I was kind of bummed out about that because I really enjoyed the first one and it kind of came out of nowhere and, took a character that like I didn't really care about with Miles Morales because I was like, oh, he's just Ultimate's universe. Who cares? And it made me actually enjoy that character. And yeah, this new one, I was just like, oh, that's not as good. I felt like,
Don't worry, I personally really liked it.
yeah, Christian really liked it. A lot of people are really liking it. So like, don't let my feelings kind of influence your movie enjoying experience. But yeah, I think without spoiling anything, the ending of it ends abruptly, and you're just like, whoa, what? And you're like, it has that middle movie syndrome, like a lot of second movies in a trilogy have, and it just doesn't pull off the ending very well. And then I thought the art style was kind of weird, where like it's always trying to replicate comic books, which I really enjoy. And there's some interesting things like in the first one, Spider-Man Noir is in black and white the whole time, right? Which is kind of a cool thing to see on screen. But in this one, there's a lot of like extra drawing lines and stuff. Like on one character in particular, you can see the circle inside of his head with the cross to like show where the eyes would be and how the head is rotated. What are those lines called, Christian? Is there like a technical?
They're guidelines.
Oh,
I mean, they're just guidelines
guidelines
on a character.
So like one character has like a line across his eyes the entire time that show where that his eyes are centered, but it's floating out in front of the 3D model of the character, which is very distracting for me. And it's like, I get it. You're trying to make it look like a drawing, right? So that's the idea.
See, that's the thing. And I don't want to go into it because I'm sure we'll talk about it. But to me, it made sense. And I love unfinished artwork. And
Yeah, but that's not what comic books are.
I get it. I get it.
So like,
But I don't want to go into it.
Yeah, I mean that to me, it's like, okay, I get it. You're trying, like when you do things like Punk Spider-Man, you see his guitars outlined in a yellow bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it was like on newsprint or something.
yeah, that's kind of a stylistic choice of when that character has showed up in in the comic book, right? But it's still a finished product, right? Having lines and eraser marks and stuff is like, no one sees that as a finished product. You know what I mean? So it bothered me, but I'll kind of leave it at that. I think it's still worth seeing for sure. And I'm excited to see the next one whenever it does come out. So yeah, that's my nerdy confession.
It's good.
I haven't seen either, so
Yeah.
I will eventually. Everyone's like, "You haven't seen the first one? How dare you?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm a horrible nerd. I'm sorry."
They're good.
I'm not
They're
like-
good.
I hear they're amazing. And
You'll like it.
The video games I know are like really fucking spot on.
Oh, for
so-
sure. They're super fun. What's your nerdy confession, Fabienne?
Oh fuck! I have. Oh man. Okay. Oh okay. Here it is. I painted
Yeah.
half of my druids. Just the base coat.
just the base coat?
That's it. That's my nerd confession. Is that
Wait, is this for Warhammer?
this is for Warhammer? I have a lot of armies. We have a lot of armies in my house. My
Yeah.
partner just bought the fucking Leviathan box, so we have even more armies now.
I want those Terminators real bad.
Fuck, we don't even play Space Marines, now we have fucking Space Marines.
Give it to me.
And like, I've had these Sylvaneth. Well, I've had all of my armies for like probably 5 or 6 or 7 years now,
Sure.
and they have not been painted. And I sat down and I've been like trying to figure out my color scheme, so I didn't like sit and do batch painting.
Right.
I also just fucking
Always
hate
good
batch
to-
painting. It drives
always
me
good.
nuts.
Yeah, it's always good to do like one tester to kind of figure
Yeah.
things out, and then blow through the batch
Yeah,
afterwards.
and I just like I guess I've never really batch painted before. Batch painting is when you have all of your army.
you have a
and you
unit
just sit
of
there
10
and
guys
you-
or 20 guys.
You factory paint, so it's like get all the brown on, get all the purple on, get all the on each model, right?
yeah,
and it's like just trying to crank out getting paint on your models
Without driving yourself nuts.
without driving yourself nuts.
Yeah,
Except it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I'm like, okay, I got the brown on. It's like, oh, but now I wanna highlight it, and now I wanna do the little
Yeah.
details. Like that's where I like enjoy.
yeah,
painting.
the refining
Yeah.
part of
I
the
just
miniature.
can't see myself do it. Like I feel like you have to have a magnifying glass and just
So
like
I
getting it,
actually,
like-
so funny enough, my partner gave me a headset.
Ooh, the
magnifying
sexy
headset,
gogs.
The sexy gogs, and it does help.
that's what they're called.
No.
That's what I call them. Because you like, it's one of those ones where you like, if you look up at someone, your eyes are hella big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But,
It's not like the ones where you like, you click down and then you get like another like.
no,
No.
those would be really cool.
No.
But no,
No,
they're
these are
just like jewelers magnification glasses where some
Yeah.
of them flip up, some of them just hold it out in front of
There's
you.
usually a light attached to it too.
Yep.
I've recently found out that I'm losing eyesight.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, great. Age,
Yeah.
love it. And so I was having a hard time focusing on the mini to like, and I was like, I don't have enough light. Like I was like, I'm so like, am I blind? Like what's going on? I went to the doctor and like, no, you are actually losing sight.
Yeah.
Sucks. Anyway, so I was like, trying to focus to like, get the brush on the right spot, and I couldn't do it. And then my partner handed me these things, and I was like, fuck, game changer.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now I can see the little eyeball. And,
Nice. That's awesome.
you know,
Well,
so-
I will say light is super important. You can
Yeah.
kind of see my light little setup
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. Because like if you're painting in the dark, your eyes are straining so
Yeah.
much to try to see the color and the detail.
Yeah.
That once you're like getting good light on, you're like, holy shit. And then that'll help you kind of paint. But like
Yeah.
sometimes you just need some magnification too.
Yeah.
I've always kind of struggled with magnification, but for certain little things, it is helpful for sure.
Yeah.
So did you get glasses?
I haven't. Oh no.
Neither one of you?
No.
Oh, I have those things.
No, but
No.
like actual like.
Regular reading.
Oh,
glasses.
I've gotten my prescription redone recently, but apparently I'm aging, so I'm losing
My eyes are perfect.
I'm losing eyesight.
They're just leveling up.
But yeah, so I base painted half of my druids, and
Nice.
also Sylvaneth are a swarm army,
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
so I mostly have druids.
A lot of tree boys.
I've only done half of just the druids. So that's like 20 models.
Yeah.
And I have like 50 probably.
So if they turn into an animal, do you have to like switch minis or something like?
No, so druids are they're really interesting. They're the elves. But in Sigmar, Age of Sigmar fantasy, the fantasy version of Warhammer,
Yeah.
all of the elves are dead.
Yeah.
They have gone extinct. And except that their souls have now been kind of taken by the trees. So they are half ghost, half trees.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So the base units are these druids, and they're literally just like zombie trees. They're like humanoid trees.
The one mini that I won that painting competition with is a
It's
Sylvaneth.
still-
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a
War Song Revenant.
yeah. They play music because part of their
a big old
their hive
flute
mind
horn.
is like this song.
Song of
the
Forest.
trees.
Yeah.
The song of the song of the forests. But they're ghosts.
But they're not ents. They're
No, there
are some big
tree people type
and
deals.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
One
Why
of
does
my
Warhammer have to be so twisted, man?
Dude,
Why can't
it's-
just regular elves?
That is what Warhammer.
So
is
there
about.
are regular elves, kind of. They're the Lumineth elves. So I play Sylvaneth, and then there's Lumineth elves, which
are
are like the high elves, and they are high elves.
And
They're
then
like fancy.
there's also the what are the water ones called? Deep.
Oh, yeah, and there's-
Ideneth Deepkin.
Yeah, they're deep skins or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like water sea elves, and you have like little like
They're like
seahorses and
Atlanteans
stuff.
almost,
But
yeah.
the Lumineth elves are great because they're like monks. They're all like Asian monk themed, and they ride like kangaroos and like fucking cows.
It's so cool.
Wait, what?
They're like these weird like kangaroo cow things. They're really cool.
Kangaroo
Yeah,
cow.
they're dope.
What part is kangaroo and what part is cow?
They have horns. And then kangaroos, they have long ass legs.
Yeah.
Do they have the pouches or do they have udders?
No.
Or do they have pouch udders? Or do they have inner udders
I
in
don't
the
know.
pouches?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
These are the questions I need answered.
But they're the fantasy's fun because they get a little bit crazier in their weird fantasy. They don't just stick to like Lord of the Rings because they do. Games Workshop does have a Lord of the Rings set.
that's true.
Which I also have pieces from because I wanted to paint Daddy.
Ooh, they have
Wait, Daddy what?
Legolas's dad.
Daddy Gollum?
No, Legolas's daddy.
oh
What the fuck is his name? Oh my god. I lost my Lord of the Rings nerd
I
card.
can't remember what his name is.
Fucking, you know who I'm
Wait,
talking
who's Dad?
Legolas.
Oh,
Daddy.
oh my God.
It's Lee Pace.
Yes.
It's Lee Pace.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking
Fucking
about.
the daddy.
You know how many names there are in Lord of the Rings?
And they all like rhyme.
Is it Celebrimbor?
No,
That's
he
the,
makes the
No,
ring.
that's the guy who makes it.
what's the other C name? Galadriel's husband? What's
No.
No.
Glorfindel?
Glorfindel.
No,
is not.
Glorfindel is an older elf.
It's daddy. Now you gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have his model, and
So many
that's the
people are
only
mad at
model
us right
from
now.
the Lord of the Rings. I know, right? We're the fucking worst. We're about to talk about Lord of the Rings. We don't know character names.
Hey, one thing I've learned from
They
watching
all rhyme.
one thing from
Daddy.
Thandriel.
Vandriel. Yeah. So
Oh.
his mini, he's like riding a giant stag, and I gotta paint.
Yeah.
Nice.
Daddy Thandriel.
One thing that I've learned from watching all these like unboxing videos for the new Lord of the Rings Magic set is that a lot of nerds just don't know shit about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
They're like, what's this name? Gloin? It's like, no, it's glowing,
Glowing?
obviously.
To the point where they even like Wizards of the Coast even fucked up.
Yeah.
Because there's I guess they had to write an apology. They did some of their cards are like full art cards.
Sure.
So like if you put all the cards together it makes like a giant art piece.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cards they mislabeled the character.
Oh, really?
It's technically I think they put Faramir and it's not Faramir.
Boromir?
It's some other it's completely not even the same guy.
Oh.
Like totally different character because it's
Oh.
a scene from like one of the wars.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, that doesn't make sense. Faramir wasn't there. Why is this card the Faramir card? It's not Faramir. It's like they said, sorry, guys, we fucked up.
Yeah, well, the thing is like there's so many names and so many like of people's backgrounds and parents' lineages, names rhyme, so it's easy to get
And
them
shit that
confused.
people don't know. Like, the books are they're like the Lord of the Rings books.
Well, we talked about this last night, too, is that everyone has like 3 names in
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings anyway.
Right,
like, Bilbo's
yeah.
name is not technically Bilbo.
Which
Same
I
with
didn't
Gandalf.
fucking know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Well, yeah, Gandalf
Gandalf
has like three,
3 or 4
5
names,
names.
too.
Yeah.
And like, but yeah, and then there's like lore. The Lord of the Rings books are probably like the main like problem that Middle Earth faces. But there is that's kind of the brilliance of Tolkien is that he wrote so much fucking lore so he could have such a solid foundation for the Lord of the Rings books. That there's all this fucking thousands of years of history before, hence why there's a fucking TV show now, and thousands of years after. And like, it's a lot. That's why like there's like scholars, Tolkien scholars and
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Well, I think it's about time since we
Yeah,
already
let's
naturally
do it.
went into Lord of the Rings.
Let's do it. Lord of
We
the
should
Rings,
definitely
thank
get
you.
into it. But first, we're going to take a quick little break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking about Magic the Gathering's Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Is there music during break? I don't even know.
Yeah, there's like ads. And
Okay,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
hope you
buy
enjoyed their
whatever,
ads.
buy whatever they told you to,
Or visit. Go
Just
visit wherever
click
they
it.
said.
Just
You just
click.
gotta click it. That's the important
click
thing.
through. We need those clicks, baby. Internet.
It's free to click.
It's free to click. Also, we didn't mention this at the top, but check out patreon.com/nerds with friends. Become a patron today. You should see it down at the bottom of your screen if you're on YouTube's. All right, let's talk about the Tales of Middle-earth, Magic the Gathering, the newest set coming out next weekend on... Where's the calendar on this computer? I don't remember.
We're the best. We're the best.
Coming out on the 16th, I believe it is,
Oh, okay.
right?
Cool.
That's the pre-release, and then the full-on release, if you need to wait for that for some reason, is the 23rd of June.
Nice.
And so let's talk a little bit about this. They've Wizards has released full spoilers now, so you can actually look at every single card that's printed now, including the One Ring to rule them all. So I think that's the thing getting the most press, right? Is there's a 1/1 serialized One Ring. The One Ring is its own card, which you can get a normal version in the set. And I don't even remember exactly what it does.
Yeah, it's the One Ring is like, there are a bunch of like basic versions of the One Ring. It's just there is one fancy full holographic
serialized
art
texture
with a fucking number.
It's written all into the dark speech
one
and
out
stuff.
there, baby.
Yeah, and that there's also already standing offers from collectors out there for $1 million plus.
There's a bounty for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a card store that said they will buy it off you for $1 million, but someone has to find it before, I believe, the 27th of July. So after that, the bounty expires.
Interesting. What would you do if you found the ring?
I would try to sell it to Post Malone, and with the caveat that yes, I would like an obscene amount of money for it, but I also want to hang out for a day. You know,
a day? No, you would be contracted like you got to do 10 episodes
with Nerds and Friends. Yeah, so Post Malone shows up, and we're sitting in a studio in my new house. Then you know what happened.
My house is divided. I would want to keep it, and the Mrs. says I have to sell it for the $1 million.
Yeah. I side with her. She's correct.
So we're the worst because Knox and I already discussed this. If for whatever the fuck reason we got the card, we would recreate the Lord of the Rings movie. We would be financially irresponsible. We would recreate the Lord of the Rings movie with the card as the ring, and then we would actually burn it.
Yeah.
No.
And light it on fire.
No.
And going back to Post Malone, we would try and get Post Malone to play golf.
Yeah.
So that way when we burnt it, it's just him like dying
He's
inside.
I mean,
I think because I care about you guys, I'd have to stop you guys.
Yeah.
That's okay. You could be a part of the.
Second Gollum.
You could be part of the.
I'll play the Boromir. I don't mind being Boromir.
Someone has to be like the Nazgul. You could be a Nazgul.
Let me hold the burden for you. Yeah, so that's the one that's getting all the press. Which I mean, like, congrats to Wizards of the Coast. That is one way to get incredible amount of press coverage, right? And I think it's
smart and it's fun.
It's smart and it's fun. And there's a lot of haters out there who are saying this is so stupid. They're just going to keep doing this. But no, this one makes sense, right? Now, if they did it for Doctor Who and it's the magic screwdriver or whatever the fuck it's called.
Sonic.
Sure, whatever.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so if they make a 1/1 of that, then yeah, that's stupid, right? Because like every Time Lord's got one probably, right?
Yes, every Time Lord has one and it's different for each one.
Yeah, exactly, sure.
So like I could see them doing that though.
Yeah.
Like there's 14 doctors now and there's 14 different.
Yeah, maybe 14 different art styles, which we'll talk about some of the things they've done.
You guys piece together. Cody's not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I respect it.
Yeah, that's all I ask is just respect my indifference to it.
Yeah, I respect. Okay. Well, I respect people who are fans of it in the show. But
that
I'm
too.
not a fan of it.
I don't mind that people like it. I just hate it when they try to convince me that I should like it because it's like it's a nerdy thing that every nerd should love. No, it's not. But that's fine. We're not here to talk Doctor Who.
Yeah,
though
that's next time.
I'm sure we'll do an episode on it when the Doctor Who set comes out. Yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah, so there are multiple art styles and stuff, which is commonplace in Magic, and I think that's cool. I think having the 1/1 ring is fun, but there's also lots of cool things where it seems like in this set they've really done their homework. And sure, every once in a while there's a little mistake. I think Mark was pointing out that if you look at the set icon, that it's not actually in the black speech; it's in High Elven on the ring,
or the words are wrong. I don't know.
Or the words are wrong. It says, "Yeah." I'm like, who cares?
He speaks Sindarin.
Yeah,
it's called Sindarin.
Yeah, and so it's like that's fine. I don't mind that, but like things like there are like serialized soul rings scattered throughout the set where there's 300 for the elves, 700 for the dwarves, and 900 for the humans, which are the 3, 7, and 9 rings of power. There's also non-serialized version, there's 3,000, 5,000, and 7,000. So you can still get one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Slightly higher, 7,000, 9,000. There's slightly higher chances of getting those. Characters that maybe never would have showed up in like if this was some other company doing it are showing up. Like they have Tom Bombadil cards. They have his wife. What's his wife's name? Like Primrose or something.
Oh my God, it's with a G.
But
Worst.
Golden something. No, Goldberry.
Goldberry, that's right. Yeah. So she has her own card. Sharky of the Shire is in there, which is what's his name, Saruman, when he goes to the Shire and like exploits all the hobbits and stuff.
Oh,
so there's like
tends to be a hobbit,
Makes them start OnlyFans.
yeah, exactly.
Showing their feet.
Show the feet.
The bottom part where
The
there's
feet finder.
We're all gross.
Hobbit feet finder.
Yeah. So I think they've done their job like really researching it and doing some fun things. One of my favorite inside jokes that I've found so far in the set is on the Shadowfax card. Shadowfax gives all horses haste.
Yeah.
And then when it says haste, it shows the definition of haste. Because famously Gandalf's like, run Shadowfax. Show them the meaning of haste.
Yeah. Show them the meaning of haste. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
and so it has haste. The character card can come in and immediately tap or attack on this turn. I'm like, yes, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
But that's so deep. I don't know a lot of people would get it, you know.
But
But the
got
people that
it,
do,
yeah.
the people that do, you know.
Yeah.
well, that's what it's for. You know, that's what the fun inside joke is for. And then I guess we should talk briefly about like the different styles of card that are coming out. There's the normal artwork. Right. Then there's the ring treatment, which is a showcase card where it has like the ring text on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Looks real nice. This one right here, showcase treatment.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So I think that looks really cool. There's full art lands that have the Tolkien maps.
Oh, that's dope.
Which I'm all about.
That's fucking dope.
100%. There's the serialized rings of power, which we talked about. So they're all
and they're full hollow.
They're all in Elvish. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then there's the full art cards and borderless lands and stuff, which Mount Doom looks real sick. There's also what they're calling they're calling them scene cards or scenic cards, where there's a big piece of artwork and little chunks of that artwork are made into their own cards. So there's one that's like Gandalf fighting the Balrog, and there's the Balrog on one card, and that's his, it's part of the art. Then there's the Balrog's whip, and it's just the whip crack, and then there's Gandalf on another card. And if you put the cards together, it makes a little scene, cool. Which I think is a really cool thing to do for Magic cards, because a lot of times they'll come out with different sets that have like I can't think of the name of the thing, where it's a series of cards that are all designed to be related to each other. Right. But I think it's cool to actually make some art that actually represents that, and so you can kind of put them together. Look to try to collect all of them. There's the one where there's Sam, there's Frodo, there's Gollum, and then there's the One Ring, and they're throwing it into Mount Doom, and you can put them together and see that little scene.
Oh, that's so fun.
So I think that's a really, really fun way of like giving collectors something to hunt for that's, first of all, not impossible to get. Like you can definitely find all of those. And it's like another level of like, hunting for cards kind of thing, which is smart financially for sure.
It's also kind of like nodding to like how detailed Tolkien's art was.
Absolutely.
Because like he did do all this like amazing original art, and it's like, hey, like we're not going to do his original art, but we're going to allow these other artists to like do their versions of this art or these scenes.
All the artwork is amazing too. Yeah,
phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's kind of like an example of it. See, there's.
Oh, that's so cute.
So it's like you got Gandalf, friend of the Shire, and then you have like the Wizard's fireworks and Wizard's rockets. I'm sorry. Then you have a Sackville's Baggins. Yes, I give you my cookies. Have my cookies. Frodo Baggins, Bilbo Baggins, and Delighted Halfling. And so you fit them all together and it makes a nice little scene.
That's cute.
Which I think is really, really fun. That's one of the things that I'm definitely going to be looking for. There's a full art right there.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I think that's such a cool idea, So while a lot of people have been kind of like, accusing this of being a cash grab, I think there's obviously a lot of people, Wizards, who really love Lord of the Rings and are really trying to make this set awesome, which I appreciate.
It is a cash grab, but at the same time, I'm willing to part my dollars for it. Like I feel like it's a mutual, beneficial.
I wouldn't be surprised if okay, so a lot of these fantasy games and stuff are based off of Lord of the Rings, and I think
pretty much all high fantasy.
All fucking high fantasy is.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, dude, you know what'd be fucking rad? Let's get Lord of the Rings. Yo, forget Lord of the Rings. Then let's go all out. Let's go balls to the wall nuts because we all love Lord of the Rings. We all love fantasy. That's literally what this game is like. The root of this game.
Right.
Fuck it. Go ham. Do this crazy art. Do these crazy cards and have them all make sense. I'm sure those art cards, they all synergize together. Yeah. Wizards is really good about being yo, this set is the synergy set.
Yeah. And the different mechanics that they're putting into it all really play into there's the Frodo and Sam one. Mm-hmm. Everything they put in here is thoughtfully constructed as far as what the cards do, how they interact with each other. Sure, there's you got to fill out an entire set, so maybe they're not all 100% winners, but there's a lot of them that really make sense. For instance, the Nazgul, right? The ring raids, what have you. There's 9 different artworks, unique artworks for them. So when you get a Nazgul card, it could be one of 9 different riders, and each commander deck can have each deck, it says, can have up to 9 Nazgul in the deck.
And that's it. They can't have more than
They can't have more. Because
there aren't any more.
Yeah, and normally in Commander you can only have 1 of each card, right? Or normally in Standard or Modern or whatever, you can have 4 of each card. Mm-hmm. So having those things that play into what that card represents, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. You could easily make put Golem up there and make it so that Golem has trample for some reason because you don't give a shit. But they're not doing that. This one here.
It'd be fun to make a Golem deck.
Yeah, for sure. And
just
he is a legendary creature.
Deck. Yeah.
Mono black. So this one is Golem, the patient plotter. When he leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you, and then you can pay 1 black and sacrifice a creature. Return Golem from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only as a sorcery. So, sacrificing a creature to return him to your hand is maybe that's the death of Smeagol and the birth of Golem kind of thing. And then when he leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you, which is a new mechanic where if a ring tempts you, it's kind of like a saga, or kind of like that ventures into the dungeon from the Dungeons and Dragons one, where each time it tempts you, you get another buff of some sort.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So having that in there is pretty cool. And then for this one, Samwise the Stout-Hearted has Flash, because again, Sam comes in last minute.
Yeah, he saves the day.
And saves the day when Gollum is wrestling with Frodo, right? So he flashes in, and when he enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn, return it to your hand, then the ring tempts you. So he's saving Frodo. He's bringing him back from the graveyard. Yeah, so they've obviously put some thought into these things, which makes me super excited to because I've watched previews and stuff, but it makes me really excited to get in and really see.
Yeah, it definitely as a Lord of the Rings fan too, it's I want to see how they interpret some of the lore and the story through the cards and through the mechanics of the cards. The only thing I will say though is kind of the con that I see from this deck is that this is probably not a good starter Magic deck.
No,
because every card has a very complicated, long rule set, and they are doing, I will say this, they are doing a Jumpstarter set.
Sure.
And I've been playing Jumpstarter recently, and that is fun as fuck.
Yeah.
And it is
Jumpstart, for those uninitiated, is it kind of takes the idea of doing a Magic draft, which is the traditional way of playing Magic. When Magic came out in 1993 or whatever, the idea was you buy 3 packs, you do a draft where you pass the cards around and each pick a card out until you build your own deck. Mm-hmm. And so what Jumpstart does is it jumpstarts that whole thing. You buy 2 packs, you mix them together, and it creates a deck, and they're designed to be fairly balanced.
Yeah, no
so
matter
you can have,
what, they work.
You can have a green and a black, and you mix them together, and they make one thing. Or you have a green and a blue, and they make another thing.
And it's really fun. It's really fun, especially if you have never played Magic. I highly recommend doing Jumpstart. Like, buy a box with your friends and just like fuck around and make decks.
Yeah.
Because the worry of having to build a deck is gone.
Right.
But it still teaches you like the basics
mechanics
of how to play Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And like this is what happens to me a lot is like all of my friends are fucking pro players at Magic, and I end up not having fun playing Magic because it's like I just get trampled every time because they have ridiculous decks that they've built for years, and I'm just like, here's my little commander that I bought out of my box, right? And I put a couple new lands in it. Like that's it. That's all I do.
Right.
But the Jumpstarter pretty much puts everyone on the same level, no matter what. So you don't have that like, well, I'm gonna get trampled by pro
and no one knows going
fun.
into it what's going to be in your deck. And
The
and
only
it
thing
is
that slightly bums me out is like the themes may not fit because you could get like a Hobbit and then orcs.
Yeah, fuck it. That'd be fun.
I mean, for playing wise, it doesn't really matter. But like, I like sometimes, at least with my decks, I try to just keep them on theme. You know, what would which creatures would fight with or work together to like to
usually it, like at least the ones that I've been playing, it's like they'll have like feathered friends, and it's a white deck, stuff. And then enchantment is like the other one. So it's not like necessarily creatures.
Yeah,
there are creatures in both, and there are
enchantments. It'll be like a mechanical theme. So it'll be like graveyard diggers or something like that, and then it'll be like
goblins,
controlly assholes.
Apparently, there's a dog.
A dog
one.
Jumpstart one. That's
for the
kind of
first
cool.
series of Jumpstarters, there was dogs.
Nice.
And there was cats.
The good boys. The
good
boy packs.
I got one and it was very
good boys and the sassy little shitheads.
One of them was like the retriever knight. And it was just like this dog with a sword like jumping. and it was like when it comes into play, you can retrieve an item from your graveyard.
Nice.
And then like you got bonuses for it was good. It was great. It was
the dog one that I love, but it also makes me sad. I forgot what the dog is called, but it's a little dachshund where you basically sacrifice.
It's like faithful companion.
Faithful companion.
Yeah.
So he sacrifices himself to make another character indestructible for one turn. Aww. Yeah, I know, right? Like that's so fucking.
He's a faithful companion.
And he's like he's killing himself to make sure you survive. And I was like, dude,
he's a good boy.
He's a good boy. And it's like
it's. And then you get really mad when your good boys die.
Yeah.
You go ham.
Yeah.
John Wick comes in.
Yep.
One thing that's kind of funny about Jumpstart, since you brought it up, that people are complaining about is that a lot of times with these themed Jumpstart ones where it's like, oh, this is the Lord of the Rings one, or this is the Brothers War one, that they haven't been as good as like 2022's Jumpstart pack. Once they get themed, there's a little less variation. But also, like that Jumpstart is not necessarily for you. It's for newer players or super casual players who just want to shuffle up and play and like have a good time. Yeah. Like I'm okay because this one says that there's 5 unique themes in the Lord of the Rings one. Doesn't necessarily mean there's only 5 variational packs or anything. It means there's 5 themes, right? So one for each color. So black is probably always going to be Nazgul like a graveyard synergy of some sort. Blue is also always going to be like, a controlling counterspell type deal. So like, I'm okay with that. Yeah. And I think that's a great way to get people in because let's face it, the whole reason you do a Lord of the Rings Magic set is to get people who maybe aren't Magic fans interested in Magic.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think Fabienne brings up a good point. Like the mechanics on this is going to be difficult for someone who's just a Lord of the Rings fan and not had played.
So I would imagine that the Jumpstarter
they were
probably going to be a little bit
the more basic ones.
Also, I wouldn't be fucking surprised if that One Ring card is in a fucking Jumpstarter pack.
No,
you know they're going to be like, what if we just put it in a Jumpstarter pack for some random noob to get?
Oh, what's this card? It doesn't seem to fit with the rest of it.
Oh, I can't read it. Oh man, this sucks. Oh, I guess I'll figure it out.
No, they have said it's in a collector's booster, so it's in the most expensive thing.
They did say that.
Yeah, they did say that.
I would have preferred that they not say.
They should have not said it.
And it's English language ones only, so
Yeah.
no Japanese or anything like that.
Oh,
Even
sorry,
though technically the One Ring itself is not in English.
Which is crazy. So Cody had sent me a video where it was talking about the One Ring.
Yep.
And all they said was the English version. In my mind, I got upset. I was like, what? It's only in England. Like, this is just like, it's just going to come out in the UK. This is fucking bullshit. I was like, oh, language. They meant English language.
English language, yeah. So let's
Let's
talk
talk about the commander decks.
commander decks, right?
There's
That's-
4.
There's 4 different ones. There's 4 different themes, if you will. So there's the Hosts of Mordor. There's the Elven Council. There's the Riders of Rohan. And then there's Food and Fellowship.
I'm definitely getting Riders of Rohan.
Dude, the fucking, like,
I got all of them.
I'm sure.
I got all of them.
I'm sure we're gonna get all of them too, but I'm sure I'm gonna claim Riders of Rohan and tell Nox to suck it.
yeah. So,
Which is fine. He's gonna want the hosts of Mordor anyway.
Looking through them, though, to me, I think Food and Fellowship is ridiculously overpowered
Yeah.
for what the characters are.
So
Me and
have
Cody
you?
were talking about
There's
it.
the last time there was the food mechanic was in the Fae series, and it's pretty fucking OP because it's literally like you sacrifice characters for food, and then your food can turn into like tokens for characters, and like the food has like nutso mechanics. I can see people like mixing those 2 decks for Commander.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's pretty hardcore, and we were talking about Knox and I were talking about that too. And we're like, yeah, the hobbits might come in and be the
Yeah.
OP
Yeah.
fucking.
they could be. So, yeah, the Food and Fellowship one is a green, white, black. Sorry if I don't know all the official names for all the color combos. But it looks fun. It's got a partner commander with Sam and Frodo. Sam the loyal attendant, and Frodo adventurous hobbit.
Which he never was. He was never adventurous. That was always Bilbo.
I mean, he was always like down to.
was.
He wanted to hear stories about adventure.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, he never wanted to be in them.
Yeah, but he took it up. That's part of what made Frodo is that he wants
I
to.
mean, Bilbo kind of didn't want to either.
In the beginning.
and,
then after-
now he's like, fuck
Then
yeah,
after,
let's
like,
go.
oh, my fucking dwarven friends are trapped by the elves. I'm going to stick them in barrels and get them out of here. I'm going to tempt the dragon. Like,
I'm going to go back to Rivendell because I'm bored.
But there's a lot of cool, cards in there that have to do with food and whatnot, and you building food tokens and like getting cool payoffs because of that, which is awesome. And I think that there's like 29 or something new cards that are all specifically Lord of the Rings, and then there's a lot of reprints. And one thing that we should say is that these decks have had the highest reprint value of any Commander deck that's ever been released, I think. Which is really cool because that means they're putting good reprint cards in there.
Right, yeah.
So like each one I think had at least one card of worth about $20 or so.
Oh,
which
wow.
which is really, really cool. And there's lots of food tokens and stuff.
Tree hunt tokens.
Yeah, they look so
They're
cool.
so cute.
The tree folk. And so like unfortunately this doesn't have all of it, but it has the eagles in it. It's got rosy cotton. It's got Bats of Mirkwood, Generous Ent, Revive the Shire, Farmer Cotton, Merry Warden of Isengard, Pippin Warden of Isengard.
those are the 2 replace or the sub commanders. You can switch them out. To
I
be
thought
the
Bilbo was on this one.
So there's actually a bunch. Bilbo is one. Merry and Pippin. You can make them your commanders, and they're both partners as well. You can partner their out.
Interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah. So lots of cool stuff in there. Feasting Hobbit, I think, was one of the ones that was going to be a powerhouse where like every time you sacrifice a food token, it gains +1/+1 or something like
Yeah,
that.
so you get like a 10/10 Hobbit.
Yeah.
Which
exactly.
don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But it's like, what Hobbit in Lord of the Rings would be?
There's
like
also
10/10.
there's an equipment in here that's field tested frying pan. I'm all about it.
Nice.
I'm all about it. Riders of Rohan though is by far my favorite one from what I've seen, because that one you've got Eowyn, Shield Maiden, Aragorn, King of Gondor. Those are kind of the 2.
Interesting that Aragorn's in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Well, here's
They're
the thing.
Humans. It's
They
like
should
the
not have.
human deck,
I don't
right?
think they should have called it Riders of Rohan, even though like I get it. Like it is the more popular. Everyone knows Riders of Rohan, and
Yeah,
that sort of thing. But it should have just been called like the Forces of Men or something like that, or the Age of Men.
The Age of Men.
Alliance of Men, whatever, yeah. because Gondor is in here, so is Rohan, and they're both kind of represented on the commanders available. But with the Riders of Rohan, you have a lot of like creating horses, creating knights, creating trample things, and that sort of thing, which is awesome.
It's green, red, white?
Blue, red, white.
Oh, okay.
Blue, red, white. Yeah. So, Eowyn, Shield Maiden, she's got first strike, which means she attacks quickly. Of course, she first strikes the Witch Queen, right?
Right.
And kills him. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another human enters the battlefield under your control this turn, create 2/2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste.
She should have been partnered with Mary.
Then
was it Mary or Pippin?
Mary,
Yeah.
Pippin's in the tower.
He's in Gondor, yeah. Then if you control 6 or more humans, draw a card. Pretty cool.
So yeah, you can make like huge
armies of horses,
armies of people. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Then you have Aragorn, King of Gondor, Vigilance and Lifelink. He's a vigilant guy for sure. When Aragorn, King of Gondor, enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Whenever Aragorn attacks, up to one target creature can't block this turn. If you're the monarch, creatures can't block this turn.
Oh.
So
you just eat it. You just eat the attack.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about this deck that has nothing to do with Rohan really is that there's a lot of cool monarch abilities and stuff in it. So lots of other cards. Traditionally, the monarch is you become the monarch from one card, and then whoever does player damage to the monarch, they become the monarch, and that lets you draw a card at the end of your turn. So it's like this thing that passes around from player to player to player.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But in this deck, there's a lot of things that will instantly make you the monarch if you weren't already one. So you can steal it back without necessarily doing damage straight to.
There's a blue archivist or something. I don't remember if he was an archivist or a wizard, but yeah. Like there's a mechanic where if you bring him out, you just automatically become the monarch without having to attack.
Exactly. So lots of cool monarch things. I'm really excited to play this one. I want to play it so fucking bad.
Faramir or something?
Yeah, so we got like Eowyn, Shield Maiden, Aragorn, of course. Champions of Minas Tirith. We have a Gilraen, Dunedain Protector.
Okay.
Archivist of Gondor, Denethor, the Stone Seer. That's the one where Denethor is looking at the Palantir. Call for Aid, Gimli, the Glittering Caves, Boromir, Gondor's Hope, Eomer, King of Rohan, Faramir, Steward of Gondor.
The Gimli one I remember being crazy where like if you...
Crown of Gondor.
If a bunch of your creatures die, he gets stronger. So it's a weird mechanic where you have to wait till they die.
That's a Gimli counter of kills.
Oh, no. So, and then you can make him fight another creature, I think.
Maybe, yeah. So it's it's the one where him and Legolas are having their competition counting.
Yeah. Is there a card, because I was thinking about this when I was doing some research on it, is there a card that like hooks Gimli and Legolas together?
There should be, right?
There should be, right? There should be something where it's like the Brotherhood or like the friends forever.
Fighting with a friend or whatever, dying with a friend.
Yeah, and they get bonuses if they're both on the field or something.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Wizards of the Coast, I'm just saying.
Come on. Yeah. Then we have the Council of Elves, Elven Council, which has Galadriel as one commander, and then Gandalf as another. One of the versions of Gandalf. One of the things we'll see.
There's a bunch, right?
Yeah, one of the things you'll see in the set is there's a bunch of versions of the main characters, right? So there's like Gandalf, friend of the Shire. There's Gandalf the Grey. There's Gandalf the White. There's Gandalf the Westward Voyager, which is what this one is. So there's all sorts of different versions.
Okay.
So if you want to play Gandalf, there's multiple options.
You can have just a Gandalf deck.
Yeah, exactly. Just all Gandalfs all the time.
Is the Gandalf the White a planeswalker? Because that's my one.
There was no planeswalkers.
See,
and here's one of the things they said.
I think Gandalf the White should have been a planeswalker. That's my.
So they Wizards actually addressed this.
Okay, they did.
They said that the reason why they didn't do that, and it's the same reason they didn't do it in Warhammer, is because planeswalkers they felt like are a Wizards of the Coast thing. So you'll only see planeswalkers in Wizards properties, which includes Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So there will be some Dungeons and Dragons planeswalkers, but they didn't feel right making it Gandalf the Planeswalker or whatever.
Oh man, okay.
I mean, it shows some restraint, which people always are like, oh, wizards.
I mean,
will
I
do
get
anything.
it, but
in terms
technically
of their lore, it makes sense because planeswalkers can travel to different planes, and you'll never.
Gandalf the White travels to different planes. cards.
I guess that's fair within their realm.
And like
sure.
Gray, I would understand Gray not being a planeswalker,
Sure.
but Gandalf
Sure,
the
sure,
White technically does travel to different planes.
I guess
I'm
that would mean
just
anyone
saying.
who has the ring too, right? Because when they put it on,
You become a planeswalker?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. That'd be fucking crazy.
Anyway,
so
moving on.
the Elven Council, part of its deal is there's a lot of voting mechanics. So like
Secrets. Yeah, this sounded cool.
Galadriel, for instance, her ability is called Will of the Council. And this is, I should say, this is a blue-green deck, which makes sense with elves. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another elf entered combat on your turn, enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Starting with you, each player votes for Dominion or Guidance. If Dominion gets more votes, the ring tempts you, which again it gives you buffs, right? Then you put a +1/+1 counter on your ring bearer, which is another mechanic. You can choose a ring bearer for the game. If Guidance gets more votes or the vote is tied, you get to draw a card. So lots of cool like voting mechanics in there.
I love those stupid mechanics in
Yeah.
Magic where it's like I have to write a name on
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of this card and I flip it over and at the end of this thing happens that
Yeah.
I have written on this card. Like I love that shit. So man, this might be the deck that I go for now that I think about it.
Yeah, like
Because that's just fun. I love chaos.
yeah, I think it's cool, and it there's some really good chances for like politics and stuff in this for sure. Like,
Especially
hey
the
guys, if you all
commander
vote for
game.
this, or if you two help me, we'll team up
Yeah.
on this guy. So there's in this one you've got Galadriel, Gandalf, you've got Arwen, Weaver of Hope,
Yeah.
Galadrim, Ambush, Haldir, Lorien, Lieutenant, Legolas, Greenleaf, Mirkwood, Elk, Elrond of the White Council, Radagast, Wizard of the Wilds.
Oh, fun.
Lothlorien Blade, Lorien Revealed, Celeborn the Wise, Elven Farsight, Mirror of Galadriel. Yeah, so pretty cool. And then last but not least, you got to have the bad guys. We got the Hosts of Mordor, which is a blue-black-red with Sauron and Saruman as the commanders. And they're bringing back the amass mechanic, which basically gives you a army token and then lets you build it up kind of thing. So Sauron, for instance, when you cast a spell, amass Orcs 5, which means you put 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And he's got trample. He's a 9/9 with trample. And whenever a commander an opponent controls dies, the rings tempts you, which is powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. But he also costs 8 mana to cast. So
Yeah.
this was Sauron or
Sauron,
Sauron.
the Dark Lord, Lord of the Rings. Saruman, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, amass Orcs X, where X is a spell's mana value. You put X +1/+1 counters on
Building
the
his
army.
orc army.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun.
Goblins and orcs you control have ward 2, so he makes his orcs hardier, like the Uruk-hai, right? So this one's got Sauron, Saruman, Monstrosity of the Lake, Shelob, the Dread Weaver, Cavern Horde Dragon, Orcish Siege Master, the Rampaging War Mammoth, which is the Oliphants, the Lord of the Nazgul, Moria Scavenger, 2 Greedily and 2 Deep, so that's like a Balrog thing. Relic of Sauron, Black Gate, Treason of Isengard, Bitter Downfall, Troll of Khazad-dûm, and the Mouth of Sauron. So lots of cool mechanics in these. I'm really excited. Which ones do you guys think are going to be your favorite ones to play, or are you most excited to play?
Probably the Riders of Rohan, but I think
Looks like our camera may have
I don't know. I think
chilled out. That's okay.
I
We'll
think I
just
might.
put these cards up on the screen. So yeah,
I think it'll probably be Food and Fellowship.
Okay.
Just because there's some pretty crazy cards in there, and I love Bilbo, and there's some Bilbo cards in there.
yeah,
And I love the idea of trying to pulling off. I don't think I'll ever be able to pull it off in the game, but he has an ability where if you get to 111th life,
111 life. Yeah,
you can cast as a sorcery his ability, which allows you to go through your deck and pull as many creature cards as you want, and they come into the battlefield without having to pay their mana cost.
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, it's shit
And
like that.
And it's for his birthday, because they all
Yeah.
showed up for his birthday.
Yeah, it's shit like that I'm like, I'm here for it. Like all the weird, like just fun, like Easter eggs of like if when he turns 111, it's his birthday, so everyone shows up to his party,
Right?
Like shit like that, like yeah.
But to be able to get that much life, you know, you're gonna be.
You literally have to build your deck just around that mechanic.
Yeah, well, that's what it is with the food. But like
Yeah.
you start getting to maybe like 60, 70 life. They're gonna be like, all right, all the other three opponents are like, all right, we need to knock this guy down to make sure he doesn't
Yeah,
get to
exactly.
111.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I think I'm really excited for the Riders of Rohan. I think that's probably going to be my...
Yeah, I think I was thinking Riders of Rohan, but now like looking back at it, I think it's the Elven Council. Just I love chaos and I love politics gaming.
Yeah,
it's such a fun, especially in a big game of Commander.
Yeah,
it's such a fun thing to do.
Absolutely.
Unless you're the one getting picked on by the politics.
Yeah.
Just thinking about yesterday, they all kept killing my commander because they thought it'd be funny. What if we got Christian? What if it took him 20 mana to bring his commander back?
Clearly, you're not good at politics.
Yeah. Hey, we got there. We
did get there, and I did summon him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here we're gonna wrap up our finishing thoughts, but we're gonna take a quick little break just so I can fix the camera. So we'll be right back again. And we're back. We're back again, hopefully with some high def video. So let's give our kind of like final thoughts on Lord of the Rings. And now we have kind of talked about this briefly, but this is the most expensive Magic set that's come out for a while. Now, to me, it seems like they've built in some of that value, right? It's a property that they don't own, so that has its own cost, right? There's a lot of cool, interesting art treatments and stuff that we've never seen before. The scenic cards, the ring showcase cards. There is some surge foiling in some of the stuff, the serialized cards. So there is that kind of collector's aspect to it. But, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is just kind of recouping some of the value from all of that? Or do you think the Wizards is gradually just trying to see how much we'll pay for Magic products?
I feel like it has to be that they had to, pay for the licensing. I don't know if they had to pay the token estate.
Well,
probably.
We should say that the Warhammer Commander decks were more expensive than a normal Commander deck.
Yeah.
Right.
Which MSRP not being a thing anymore for Wizards is kind of fucked up. Because I think I paid $80 for one of those decks for the Necron deck.
I paid like $80 for mine too.
These ones, I think most of the time we've been seeing around $55, which is about $10, $15 more than what you would normally see, which is not terrible, but it is more.
I mean, I could totally see it being more expensive because of that. Yeah. Maybe they had to hire not their normal artists, but
more specialized.
Yeah, for the artwork.
Trying to get the look.
I think they clearly they dropped their money in art.
Yeah,
because there's so many different art options.
We should say we haven't even talked about this, but there is a special edition of the collector's booster box coming out November 3rd, which has even more variations of art.
Yeah,
styles.
so I think that's where the price is. Is like I'm sure they had to pay something to Tolkien Estate. I'm sure they had to do that, and that probably was relatively standard. But I think the art, and I also wouldn't be surprised if their contract for the license required all of this art and required all of these different
and maybe like
things.
Approval by the estate or whatever.
And approval by the estate, and like that's why this set took so long. So I think that's where at the end of the day all of your money's going in this set is the art, the specialty cards, all of that stuff. That's why the price is so high. Do I think the rest, like all of these things, are gonna be like that in the future? No.
Yeah.
I don't think unless this is really, really successful, and for some reason whoever owns Doctor Who, the BBC or whatever, decides, we want to do exactly what the Tolkien estate did.
Sure.
But I don't think they're going to do that for Doctor Who.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of Doctor Who fans, but I feel, and I may be wrong, that there's more Lord of the Rings fans than there are Doctor Who fans.
I think they're also catering to the Lord of the Rings fans too. Is like they want that sweet token dollars.
Yeah,
and they want you to come in and get all those collectible blah 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 because token. So I think that's a huge part of the price too. Is like it's the art, and it's also like they're trying to get a different market looking at.
Because there's so many fans of Lord of the Rings who maybe aren't necessarily Magic fans.
It'll cross over.
It'll pull those people in, which is why you do a Universes Beyond, right?
Yeah.
The Transformers thing, which kind of got mixed reviews.
Yeah.
That got a bunch of Transformer fans just buying the cards, whether they're just Secret Layers or actual Brothers War. Like, it gets people buying cards, which, don't get me wrong, like, if you buy Magic cards, I want you to play with them. I think that's important. But also, like, I can understand, like getting into something just because they have a version of what you want. The whole reason I started playing Magic was the Warhammer decks, because I'm a big Warhammer fan. And I was like, Magic's one of those things I never had really looked into. I know people like it, and a lot of people said I would like it. And, they were right. And so it took that glimpse into something that I already liked to pull me in. And now, it's no looking back.
Yeah.
And now Cody's spent a shit ton of money.
Now I will never financially recover from this.
Welcome to Magic. Yeah, I think that's like, at the end of the day, like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that is part of the Magic game too, is like collecting. There are people who just collect the cards.
Sure.
They don't give a fuck about playing the game. They just want the cool card. They just want the Black Lotus. They just want the stupid holographic fucking land.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
To have the Black Lotus and not play Magic is fucking insane.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's people out there who...
I'm sure there's some old lady who is camping on her kids' fucking Magic cards from back in the day, and she's like, I don't know what to do with these. And
sticking them underneath the table to make sure the table's like balanced or leveled and
stuff.
Shimming the Black Lotus is right there.
We've been actually checking out the price of our old cards, and we got some good ones.
Nice. Graded?
We're getting them graded, so that way we can sell them.
I told my friend
wait like a whole year to get them back.
Yeah.
It takes fucking forever.
I told my one friend John, because I told him I was getting into Magic. Like, you should look through your cards, man. There might be some gold in there. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, this is some of the stuff I have. And he holds up one, and it's a fucking I can't even remember the name of it. It's one of the dual lands. Oh. And I'm like, John, that's like an $800 card. He's like, seriously? I'm like, give it to me. And he's like, nah.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't think he's done anything with it, but it was just sitting in a binder, Yeah. And I was like, God damn.
You should tell, that's garbage. Let me take it off your hands.
I'll buy your whole collection for $100.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. It's. I don't think it's showing that future sets are going to be expensive. Mm-hmm. I think Wizards kind of messed up a little bit in scheduling, right? Because we have this set, which is very expensive, and then the next big set coming out is the Commander Masters set coming out over the summer, which is also very expensive. But that's
the Eldrazi? The Eldrazi one?
Eldrazi deck is in that. They're doing Commander decks for, which is cool. But it's also kind of like Commander. What was the previous one? I think it was called Commander Masters or something like that, or Dual Masters or Double Masters. Those sets are designed to be expensive because the reprints offered in there are very valuable cards. Mm. So I think people just got kind of a bad taste in their mouth. They're like, well, now we have Lord of the Rings, where it's $400 for a collector's booster box,
right?
And then we have Masters, which, hey, it's only $262 for a collector's booster box, but there's only 4 booster packs in it.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I think also something to take into account too with the price is like when you make these collaborative ones,
yes,
you have to hire people or make sure the people who are working on the project know the property. Like,
right.
Think about the Warhammer set. Is like, we were so impressed with how well the cards played,
right,
and how like each commander set made sense to that army, to that faction,
right,
and like so that makes sense why those cards were expensive, because they had to make sure they had someone who knew what the fuck Warhammer was,
right,
knew what all these armies were, and knew mechanics of Magic and how to build a Magic
you have
deck.
to make sure you have people who work there who are fans of both who can do that,
or you have to hire someone,
someone like some sort of consultant or something.
So I would imagine with the Tolkien stuff,
it's even more. Yeah,
it's even more because you have to have a fucking Tolkien scholar.
Right.
I'm sure they hired a Tolkien scholar. They have to have someone who knows Sindarin.
Yeah.
Someone had to fucking translate all those cards into Sindarin. So you have to have that person. I'm sure there's more like 4 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with the Tolkien guys. There's like 4 or 5
And not only
people.
that,
I'm sure like the Tolkien estate was like, you have to have those people.
Right. And then also, you have to pay for the IP.
You have to pay for the IP, yeah.
Which is never cheap. And they want to make, the only reason anyone ever does an adaptation, whether it's a movie, TV show, card game, what have you, the only reason they do that is because they want to get those fans into their product.
Right.
And so you have to pay for the ability to do that, right? So,
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. I'm excited for it, guys.
I am too.
I'm super hyped.
I'm pretty
Yes,
stoked.
super ready.
So, Fabienne, what are you going to buy from this set? Are you going to buy like a booster box? Or are you not going to
We're probably gonna buy a booster
go
box.
hard?
We're probably gonna go hard. We've been going so hard on Magic recently that
Fuck yeah.
we're probably gonna go hard. We're probably gonna get all the commander decks.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna get. We've been playing Jumpstart, so we're probably gonna get a Jumpstart deck.
Yep.
Box.
I think that'll be fun.
We're probably gonna get a booster, like a fucking box of boosters.
Got to get that collector's booster.
Yeah, I mean, we have to try to get the ring.
I think,
We
yeah.
have to try for the damn ring.
I think that's everyone owes it to themselves to at least try. At least
Yeah.
buy one collusion.
I want to be.
I want it to be someone who buys one pack.
Yes.
I think that would be,
Yes,
as
that
much
would
as
be
I want it
glorious.
myself, I want that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory like moment for them. I think that would be really cool.
I got the one ring to rule them all.
Yeah. One ring to rule them all. I'm excited for it,
Yeah.
guys. Let us know down in the comments if you guys are excited too, what you're going to be picking up and what card you're most excited for. We'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Fabienne, where can people find you?
Oh, where can people find me? I am all over the internet as Magical Girl Fab. Boo, boo, boo. I mostly do weird things in film and television.
Yep.
I'm in some cool shit. I was just on Perry Mason.
Ooh,
so,
yeah, that was cool.
that's
I
a
still haven't
fun-
watched it. I need to watch that.
It's
I love
surprisingly good.
I love the first season, but
Okay.
I feel like they did that show a disservice by not promoting it more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that it was out. Season 2 was out until you showed up.
I didn't even know what the fuck that show was until I was on it.
Oh, it's so
and then
good.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
I liked it.
Yeah.
The first season's all about a dead baby.
It is about a dead baby, so trigger warning if you're not into dead babies.
And if you are into dead babies,
The second one is
What's wrong
about
with you?
the second one is about race.
ooh, cool.
And it's based on the oil guy, the guy in LA who it's La Brea Tar Pits.
Oh.
Guy who owned La Brea Tar Pits and was
La Brea?
fucking
Mr. LeBray.
No, it's not. His name was not La Brea. I forgot.
Seems like a missed
Based
opportunity.
he's based off that guy,
Okay.
and it's really interesting. It's really good, and I highly recommend. I'm also on other stuff which I can't talk about, or else I'm gonna die
Yep.
if I talk about it.
Wizards of the Coast
The
gonna come
Pinkertons,
murder you.
the Pinkertons will come and get me. But
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, when you can talk about it, we'll
Yeah,
have
I
it.
will.
We'll have you back on.
You will be the first to know. You will get the exclusive.
Very exciting. Nerds with Friends exclusive.
Exclusive.
Well, thank you guys for listening, and we appreciate you listening and watching. Even though we do these like every 2 weeks now, it's just better life balance. One day we'll get back to every week, I'm sure. But there's a lot of Magic to play. There's a lot of Diablo to play. Got to level up.
Diablo.
Zelda's out.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars:
I haven't
The
touched it.
Jedi Survivor. There's too many good things.
They're all good. They're
And-
all great.
They're all great. You're great. Thanks for listening. To all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. One ring to rule them all.